there's some new visual updates, and they've made significant amount of changes to the visual effects. I mean, they're beautiful now. Be sure to go to my homepage to check out my Race to 1000 giveaway. Hello, and welcome to a review of No Man's Sky's Pathfinder update. So I know what you're saying. You're saying, Midnight, why are you looking at No Man's Sky, that big giant turd of a game? And, you know, I have to kind of agree with you guys because I got sold on the hype and I bought the game at full price and I was incredibly disappointed. But since the last time I played, there's been two major updates. Now, I tried to find information on the previous update, and guess what? You know, typical No Man's Sky style here, you can find very few information if you go to their website. So the only thing that they tell you, even though there's links for the old one, which was called the Foundation update, good old No Man's Sky website throws you right into the Pathfinder update. So you can't really find information about version 1.1 if you've left No Man's Sky and you're going back. But I've gone ahead and I've done some research, and I've found other people who are talking about No Man's Sky and the Foundation update and what it added in there. And essentially what it adds in is a bunch of ability to be able to have some base building. There was a couple new modes, which was survival and creative mode. If you want to go into creative mode and create everything and have it not cost you, that'd be great. Yeah, alien recruitment, and which the alien recruitment is really when you're building a base, you can recruit some aliens to do some work for you. Some item stacking, which was hugely needed because the ridiculous inventory that they had was just dumb, just plain dumb, that you could only hold a certain amount in a stack, and then even when you got it on your body, it was even less. And there was a tons more updates. So you guys can go back and you can do some searches and read about the Foundation update and see what the Foundation update had to offer. But they've moved on, and the new update is called the Pathfinder update. And the Pathfinder update is kind of significant in the way that they made a lot of changes to this game, and it probably is worth looking at again. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking like, oh my God, man, No Man's Sky is totally dead. And you're probably right. It probably is totally dead. But look, I paid $60 for the game. I wasn't the only person that paid $60 for the game. You go back and you read some information, and it sold, tens of millions of copies on release day. We all got suckered, and we wanted it to be a great game. I wanted it to be a great game, but it turned out it was an okay game. Don't get me wrong. You know what? I put in a lot of hours into No Man's Sky. It's not that it wasn't fun. It was fun. It just got boring after a while. And it was the same stuff over and over again. And I don't think the Pathfinder update's going to change that. It's just going to make the same boring stuff look more interesting. And there's some more things to do. You've got this concept of, you can watch the video, Hello Games. Hello Games is, I think they shot themselves in the foot. It's more like Goodbye Games. But there's some new visual updates, and they've made significant amount of changes to the visual effects. I mean, they're beautiful now. I mean, they were beautiful before, but they're even more so. So here's old standard HBAO off, which I have no idea what that acronym means. But then here is the high definition, and you can just see this. Look at this. Look at the quality of that. Look at the quality. Look at his head. Look at the quality of that texture changing and the colors and how vibrant it is and how much it pops out. I mean, this is beautiful. Look at that cube over there. Really nice stuff. This is no joke. I've gone into the game. You'll see some video footage. It is this beautiful. So high and ultra resolution textures, ambient light, ambient occlusion, contrast lighting, improved processing, HDR mode, compatibility for monitors and televisions. I mean, look at this. This is no joke. It does look this clear. It actually, the graphics look pretty incredible in the new release. They've also done this concept. Okay, we got to go back to Foundation again. This concept of base building. They've done a lot more with the bases this time around, including the ability to share your online base, which is, I've got to say, it's pretty sweet. You can share your base, let people explore your base, and I think maybe also include it into your world, your saves. And so you've got, again, this area when you can go to Steam and you can do some base sharing, which is really nice. The ability to own multiple ships. So in the Foundation, they allowed you to own a freighter, and the freighter has a hangar for like 6-8 ships total, but previously you could only have one ship. Now you can fill up all of those bays. If you have the money, of course. Playing No Man's Sky was all about being able to capitalize on the money. Starship Specialization, so they've specialized the starships, which is cool. It kind of gives you an incentive to get additional ships. So they have the fighter, the shuttle, the hauler, and the explorer, where the shuttle is the all-around, the fighter is more for combat, and the haulers are for expanded cargo holds, and the explorer vessels are what they are. It helps you do increase warp capabilities and lets you go farther and explore more. They've also give the ships a class, several things, a class rating, A, B, C, or the ultra rare S class. So when you purchase the ship, you're actually given better trade details on the ship. You could see in this little screenshot here, and I'll show you some footage as well, but some screenshot of how they're giving you comparisons with the damage, the shield, and the hyperdrive, and they'll give you, it's almost kind of like playing an RPG game where you're looking at the new cool sword and how much damage does the new cool sword do over the old sword. Very similar kind of combination. PlayStation 4 Pro, I don't own a PlayStation, but that's really cool. And they've got, of course, what they're calling Exocraft, which are the vehicles that you can drive around on the planet. Now, the exocrafts are kind of interesting. The hovercraft is, think of it as your exploratory vessel. It's super fast. It can go over water. Terrain really doesn't matter because it hovers. Really nice. Fast and really nice. Very little cargo space, though. It feels like a motorcycle, right? You're riding a motorcycle. Very, very enclosed. A very small kind of vehicle that goes super fast. The rover, or the roamer, is kind of their mid-range vehicle, and it's got a little bit more storage, but it's rugged and it goes over the terrain pretty well. It doesn't really have a problem that I experienced driving the vehicle. And then they have finally Colossus, and this thing, man, is they call it a lumbering behemoth, and it's so right. It drives like a truck. I mean, really. I don't know if you guys like into racing sims, or if you ever played the truck driver simulation games. It totally feels like you're driving a truck, but it's got a massive amount of cargo space. So if you're in an area where, before you wanted to harvest some gold, you want to make some money, it's like, oh, my backpack only holds so much and I've got all the cargo space and I don't have enough room. This thing will hold a ton. It's got tons of cargo slots, each one holding 500 units. So if you found that planet that's got ultra amount of resources, high producing, high value resources, you could be on there forever and just mine that stuff up like crazy. Problem is with this vehicle that I found, it gets stuck a lot. It's slow. Like I said, drives like a truck. It totally does. So I don't know how great it's going to be for finding that planet to really mine on. I mean, it's a lumbering beast. So I don't know, maybe you're going to have to play with it yourselves. I don't know if it's viable yet. This patch just came out a couple days ago. Who knows? This concept of racing, you can create a time trial and challenge others to beat it. That's kind of another little mini game kind of concept. I think what they're doing is just trying to throw content into the game. I mean, racing, come on. If you wanted to do racing, I don't want to have to build a track and then, ask somebody to join in on it. I want tracks to already be there, and I want to be able to pull up to some sort of station that's already there and it has a track, and one of the quests is, hey man, beat this thing, or go on this driving mission and beat this. But that's not how they chose to implement it at this moment in time. Hello games. Come on guys, figure this stuff out. How about making features that are fun for other people? and not necessarily, I don't know, fun for yourselves. I don't know. They got some new shopping traders. So there's a whole new idea of this currency. Beforehand, there were these downed little, I don't know what to call it. They were like little containers that had the cog symbol next to it, the little gear symbol. And you would roll up to that thing and you'd open it up and it'd be like, boom, you've got a new, you can learn this new thing. Well, not anymore. You can't learn this new thing anymore. You collect what's called nanite clusters, and then you get these nanite clusters and you take these nanite clusters and you go trade them. I don't know. Maybe this is, is this to restrict the ability to have cool stuff? If it is, it just makes the game a little bit more grindy. I don't know. I haven't played it. So I don't know if it feels balanced or not. But beforehand, you were running against this concept of, I found all the research really fast. And so maybe this is their way to slow down you finding all the research right away. It would have been better if you just put a ton more research in there, or a ton more variation in there. I understand that causes you to do programming work, but look, don't restrict the flow of research just because you don't want to put in more research. I mean, come on. I don't know. I don't know about this. They gave a ton of building stuff. So if you're into building your base, you like the base building concept, they gave you a ton of base building stuff. It's like more customizable color variations, 40 new plus base building parts, which are, they're cool. If you're into that base building stuff, that's really cool. Like I said, different colors and lights and stairs and observation domes and all that stuff. I mean, yeah, okay, you can have a unique base. Well, and that makes sense because, hey, look, you're sharing it. You don't want a boring base, right? You want to be able to share something that's really cool. Multi-tool custom specialization in classes. So very similar to the ships, right? They've given you this concept of the multi-tool specialization in classes where they've got, your pistol is more geared towards mining, your rifle is more geared towards combat, and the experimental are more geared towards scanning, and then of course your alien multi-tools are super awesome and totally rare. And they put the class like they did with the ships, the A, B, C, and the S being super special, on the multi-tool as well, but not just the multi-tool stuff, right? So that's all ships now. Ships and vehicles all have this whole thing, and they've given us some more cool type of combat stuff, which is nice because you only really had the pulsar weapons and the beam weapon, and it was okay, but we needed more. So they've added 3 more for your gun, for your multi-tool, which is the scatter blaster. Think of it as a shotgun. Your pulse splitter, which is more of a mid-range and it's really fast. And then your blaze javelin, think of that as your sniper rifle. These are the things that I'm equating them to. I don't know necessarily how you would equate them to. You guys figure out what you like to equate them to. You got your new ship weaponry, which you've got kind of like it's a concentrated balls of charged particles. What they're saying, it's more like a homing missile. It's a charged particle ball missile that's homing, which is very cool. You've got your ejector, which shoots in a cone of destruction, very similar to the shotgun concept. And then you've got, a rapid fire kind of, they call this the infra knife accelerator that allows you to do bursts of rapid fire stuff. A new mode. They've added a new mode, which is Permadeath Mode. So if you want to give yourself the ultimate challenge, you die, that's it, game over. Everything's wiped out. And then they've kind of increased the difficulty of the survival mode. So if you want to play survival, it's not permanent death, but you restart with at a nearest planet with some stuff that's lost and yeah, so a little bit more challenging. And of course they have some trophies for that. Another big thing that they're touting is this photo mode. I mean, let's just face it, No Man's Sky, for however much you hated it or not, was gorgeous. The graphics were gorgeous. the variation between plant, though a lot of people complain there wasn't a lot of variation, but come on, it looked really good. And it's still, I mean, now it looks even better with their graphics changes in there. So now they've given you this photo mode. I think it's kind of, I don't know. I feel that it's more, they're trying to add some flair of social media to this whole thing. I mean, it's a promotion gimmick. I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to use a screenshot to capture whatever I want to capture. I'm not going to spend time putting a filter on there. What I do like, though, is the ability for the free camera mode. So I'll go into the photo thing just for the free camera mode to position a shot and take the shot as normal. But I don't want to put some sort of lighting effects or some sort of filter on top of my photos. This is not a photo enhancing software. It's a video game. Come on, give me a break. We don't need this. I like I said, I like the free camera mode, but other than that, hey, all right. You know, I guess they spent a lot of time and they worked with the custom photographer, well-known game photographer. Okay, it's cool. That's cool. Whatever. Like I said, I don't know how much I'm going to use that feature. The discovery menu they made, they still need to do stuff with the UI, but they're getting there. They're getting a lot less. Let's put it this way. No Man's Sky should be called Carpal Tunnel Syndrome video game. I mean, it was ridiculous the number of clicks, and there's still ridiculous the number of clicks that you have to do in the damn game, especially when it comes to this whole discovery concept. They still have not implemented a upload all data functionality, which I think is dumb. Hey, go look at, if you guys can't figure out how to do it, go give the guys a call from Elite Dangerous, because they got the same explorer type mode where you're going from planet to planet, and they've got the whole freaking galaxy in there, and they can go from planet to planet. I can upload it all at once. I don't want to have to turn around and do every single one, click on every single waypoint discovered, click on every single creature discovered to upload the data. Give me a break. You guys really need to smack yourselves in the head, take a step back and say, how do we make this so people don't have to click a million times or press the A button a million times or whatever they're doing? But come on, give me a break here. So, but anyways, there has been improvement. So you got to give them the kudos for that. They're kind of making their way to reality here. I don't know, they're like 10 steps back from reality, but they're getting there. Eventually, they'll get there. They'll figure it out. I don't know if I can wait around that long for patch 97 before they go, let's put a sell all button in here. But they have given you a lot of different improvements to the UI. And like I said, it's getting better. More music from 65 Days of Static. Woo! The soundtrack was sweet, you know, and it still is sweet. And to get more of that sweet sound, okay, I'm all for the sweet sound of 65 Days of Static. Well, hopefully it's not that much static, but yeah, it's good stuff. It's really good stuff. The sound, you can't bust on the sound on that game. That game was good sound. Quality of life improvements. Yeah, again, they're talking about, you know, how they make things more quick with their able to skip. Yep, that was a no-brainer. You should have put that in day one. The text in the NPCs appear faster and it's skippable now. Thank God. It took you know, the release, a patch, and then another patch to finally figure that out. You still got a long ways to go, buds. Come on, hello games. You gotta figure this one out. Mission logs, so you can keep track of multiple missions. That's another that should have been in there in day one. The user interface is easier to read in places. The background graphics have been added so that it's more readable. This is all quality control. It's like you guys fired your quality control. I didn't even have Molly May as your quality control. She was the only person doing your quality control. I don't know, because if I was into quality control, I would have been like, excuse me. You know what I probably been doing? I probably would have been filing for some sort of, I don't know, support for my carpal tunnel is what I would have been doing, because man, I would have told you guys from day one, this is stupid, the number of clicks you need to do. A lot of they allowed you to rename bases and fighters and vehicles and stuff. Okay, that's great. I don't know if I would put that in bold to be able to rename, but I guess a bunch of people wanted it. They said long clicks have been removed from the menus to make it easier to navigate. You still got a lot more clicks to remove. And then they've got just a metric ass ton of patches that they did that I didn't even mention. So I suggest you go to the No Man's Sky, give it a good read, check it out, see if you guys like it. I think ultimately I'm going to probably wind up loading up the game and playing it again, just maybe for, I don't know, 5 or 10 episodes to see how much more improved it is, and to see if it's not as grindy. You know, I mean, I get the base building thing, I get it, but you know, the game itself is go from planet, get some resources, go to the next planet, get some resources. Hopefully you don't get killed by a creature, or try to sit there and identify all the plants and the animals on a planet so you can get some money, try to make some money, all that. You know, it feels very, very grindy. Takes a lot of time to get there, but you know, overall, okay, it's getting there. So I've got to give it a try. I've got to give it another try and see how it is. Here's the downer for all you people who don't own No Man's Sky, and this is something I highly agree with. There's been a lot of controversy on the price of No Man's Sky. At day one, release date, was it worth $60? AAA title price? Hell no, it wasn't worth that. It was worth $15 at most. Maybe $19.99 at most, but no way was it worth $60. In patch 1.1, did they give me my $60 worth? Again, no, they did not give me my $60 worth. And here we are in version 1.2, many moons later, and have they given me my $60 value yet? I don't know. I haven't really spent a lot of time, but I don't think vehicles are going to get me there. Who knows? But I'm having a feeling probably not. So the downside of this whole thing is No Man's Sky still trying to gouge you for $60 for the video game. Is it worth it? You know, when people ask about video games and cost of video games and what's the value of a video game, if you can put in enough hours to offset that video game, I think of it as, hey, look, I'm going out to dinner with my girl. And going out to dinner with my girl is going to cost me at least $60, $80. Man, if I don't go cheap, well, you can't even go to Chili's nowadays and have a cocktail without it being $80. So, you know, if I go maybe a little bit higher class, I'm looking at $150. Go sushi, forget it, you know, definitely $150. So, you know, you've got to equate it. How much value are you getting out of the game? If you are going to wind up putting in maybe, let's say 10 hours, then maybe $60 is worth it for you. But if you're kind of, you know, those people that look at the games that are coming out on the market right now, like let's say the Astroneer at $20, and an Astroneer you can put in, I don't know, good 30, 40, 50 hours without getting to the end of the content, then you go, oh, maybe, or getting bored with it, then you go, maybe, I don't know that this is worth the $60. But, you know, there's something to be said about, you know, AAA video games. These guys are not AAA, they're labeled indie. There's something to be said about paying top dollar for a game, but you want that game to be polished. So polished, it's a mirror, baby. You can look yourself in the face. You could say, woo, that was worth that $60 of my hard-earned cash because I busted a nut trying to get that $60. And you know what? You squirrel, man, you better be pawning up my $60 worth of value. I better be getting a lot of meat out of that nut because you know what? That was $60 of my hard-earned money. I don't know that No Man's Sky, definitely at release date, it was not worth my $60, but maybe it's getting a little bit closer. They did have a sale on. I think that was for their Pathfinder update. They gave a cheesy 2-day something sale. I don't know. I caught the tail end of it, saw that it was on sale. I think that was just to promote the fact that they put up the Pathfinder update. They want to do that. They want to bring people back or get more people in. They should reduce the price by half. Leave it at reduced by half. You guys have made enough coin off of this already. You know what? Just give us our game, the one that we were supposed to pay for on day one. But anyways, with that said, I am going to give it another shot. I hope you guys check out the episodes, and I'll see you in the Let's Play. Take it easy. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Please remember to hit that like button if you like the video, and subscribe to our channel so you can stay on top of all of our latest video releases. I release content almost every day. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.